Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Is everything clear?
Yes,
Okay, good. My name's Chen, and what's your name?
my name is Kyoko.
Okay, nice to meet you, Kyoko.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, yes, welcome to my class. And how are you this morning, Kyoko?
It's uh here is London.
Ah,
London is evening.
not morning.
Yes.
I think 9 or I'm not sure, but anyway, late evening.
Yes, it's
Ah,
late evening. It's at 10:30.
okay, I see. But
Hmm?
you are still awake.
Yes. I
Okay.
think it's early morning in Philippines, right?
Yes, it's 5:30 here.
Wow.
Yes,
Mhm.
early morning. Okay,
Mm.
welcome to my class, Kyoko, and I can see here you'd like to take Callan lesson. And last time you had
Yes.
your new work until stage 4, paragraph
Mm,
222, and the last head word is too much. Is that right?
mm, yes, right.
Okay, so we'll have this time your daily revision, and a moment, please. Okay, let's start. Okay, about how much does a doctor get a month? About how much does a doctor get a month? A doctor gets
A
about
doctor get about 2,000 pound a
a month.
month.
Alright. Do you get any cards from your friend on your birthday? Do you get any cards from your friends on your birthday? Yes, no?
Yes, I
I
get
get
some
some cards
cards
from my
with my
friends,
friends from my
from my
friend
friends on my birthday.
on my birthday.
Can I get clothes from a bookshop? Can I get clothes from a bookshop? No, you
No, I
can't get
can't get
clothes.
clothes from a books
Ah,
shop.
you. Because can I? So, no, you can't get
No, you
clothes
can't get
from a
clothes from
bookshop.
a bookshop.
Which animal do we get milk from? Which animal do we get milk from? We get milk
We
from a
get
cow.
milk from a cow.
Will you go and get a pen for me from the next room, please? Will you go and get a pen for me from the next room, please? Yes, I'll
Yes,
go
I'll go
and
and
get a
get a
pen for
pen
you
for you
from the next room.
from the next room.
Yes. When children are young, do their parents get them from school each day? When children are young, do their parents get them from school each day? Yes. When
Yes,
children are
when
young,
children are young,
their
their
parents
parents
get
get
them
them
from school each
from
day.
school each day.
Yes. Will you get that book from the table and give it to me, please? Will you get that book from the table and give it to me, please? Yes, I'll
Yes,
get
I'll
that book
get that
from the
book from the
table and
table
give it to
and
you.
give it to you.
Yes. What time do you generally get to school for your lesson? What time do you generally get to school for your lesson? I generally
I generally get
get
to
to school
school at
at
10 o'clock
for my lesson.
for my lesson.
Okay, yes, 10 o'clock. What time do you generally get home at the end of the day? What time do you generally get home at the end of the day? I
I
generally get
generally
home
get
at
home about 6 p.m.
the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
Alright, what are the general meanings of the verb get? What are the general meanings of the verb get? The general
The
meanings
general
of the
meaning
verb
of the
get
word get
are
is
become, are
become
become and
and
obtain.
obtain.
Yes. If you are not sure when to use get, what is it better to do? If you are not sure when to use get, what is it better to do? If I'm not
If
sure
I'm not
when
sure
to use
when
get,
to use get,
it's better
it's
to
better to
use the
use
other
the
verb
other verb
with the
with the
same meaning.
same meaning.
Okay, good. Okay, sorry, and here. Okay, is there a picture on that wall? Is there a picture on that wall? Yes,
Yes,
there's
there
a
is a
picture
picture
on
on
that
that
wall.
wall.
Was there a picture on that wall 3 lessons ago? Was there a picture on that wall 3 lessons ago? Yes,
Yes,
there was
there
a
was a
picture
picture
on
on
that
that
wall
wall
three
three
lessons
lessons
ago.
ago.
Okay. Were there any books on the table last lesson? Were there any books on the table last lesson? Yes,
Yes,
there
there
were some
were
books on
some
the
books on the
table last
table last
lesson.
lesson.
Was there a chair in that corner during the last lesson? Was there a chair in that corner during the last lesson? No,
No,
there
there
wasn't
wasn't
a
a
chair
chair
in that corner
in the in that corner
during the last
of
lesson?
during the last lesson.
Yes. Were there any chairs on the table last lesson? Were there any chairs on the table last lesson? No, there weren't
No, there
any
weren't
chairs
any
on the
table,
table
only any chairs on the table
last
last
lesson.
lesson.
Okay, yes, right. What the opposite of the verb to live? What the opposite of the verb to live? The opposite
The opposite
of the
of the
verb
verb
to
to
live
live
is to
is to
die.
die.
The most people die before they're 100 years old. The most people die before they're 100 years old. Yes,
Yes,
most
most
people
people
die
die
before
before
they're a
they are
100 years
100
old.
years old.
When did President Kennedy die? When did President Kennedy die? President
President
Kennedy
Kennedy
died
died
in
in
1963.
1963.
Yeah, good. Okay. Is whiskey a weak drink? Is whiskey a weak drink? No,
No,
whiskey
whiskey
isn't
isn't
a
a
weak
weak
drink,
drink,
it's a strong
it's
drink.
a strong drink.
Are young boys generally physically stronger than men? Are young boys generally physically stronger than men? No, young
No,
boys
young boys aren't generally
physically
physically
stronger
stronger
than
than
men.
men.
They're
They are
generally
generally
physically weaker
physically
than men.
weaker than men.
Okay, good. Do you speak English with a strong Chinese accent? Do you speak English with a strong Chinese accent? No, I
No,
don't
my
speak
English
English.
isn't.
No, I
No,
don't
my
speak
English. I
English
don't speak
with
English
a
with a
strong
strong
Chinese accent.
Chinese accent.
I
I
speak it
speak
with
it
a
with a
strong.
strong Japanese accent.
Okay, correct. Does a soldier make a lot of money these days? Does a soldier make a lot of money these days? Yes, no.
Yes,
A soldier,
no, a
no,
soldier doesn't
doesn't make
make
a lot of
a
money
lot of
these
money these
days.
days.
Which country do you think has the largest army in the world today? Which do you think has the largest army in the world today? I think
I think China has
has the
the
largest army
largest
in the
army
world today.
in the world today.
What do we call the clothes that a soldier wears? What do we call the clothes that a soldier wears? We call
We
the
call the
clothes
clothes
that a
that the
soldier
soldier
wears
wears
a
our
uniform.
uniform.
Do most children wear uniforms at school in your country? Do most children wear uniforms at school in your country? Yes, no?
Yes, most
Most children
children
wear
wear
uniforms at
uniforms
school in my country.
at school in my country.
Is it cheap to build a large house in the country? Is it cheap to build a large house in the country? No,
No,
it
it
isn't
isn't
cheap
cheap
to
to
build a
build
large
a large
house in
house
the
in the
country. It's
country. It's
expensive.
expensive.
Okay, yes, right. Okay. Do you fill your stomach completely when you eat? Do you fill your stomach completely when you eat? Yes, no?
Yes,
I
I
fill my
feel
stomach
my
completely
stomach
when I
completely
eat.
when I eat.
Yes. About how much or about how many pages does this book contain? About how many pages does this book contain? That book
That book
contains
contains
about
about
page.
250 pages.
Okay, correct. Are you very good at art? Are you very good at art? Yes, no?
No,
I'm
I'm
not very
not
good
very
at
good
art.
at art.
Was Picasso a writer or an artist? Was Picasso a writer or an artist? Picasso was
Picasso
an
was
artist.
an artist.
Do you always feel good in good health? Do you always feel in good health? Yes, no.
Yes,
I always
I
feel
always
in
good
good health.
in good health.
One more. Yes, I always feel
Yes, I always
in good
feel
health.
in good health.
Okay. Do you feel bad if you eat too much? Do you feel bad if you eat too much? Yes,
Yes,
I
I
feel
feel
bad
bad
if I
if I
eat too
eat too
much.
much.
Do you feel sad in good weather? Do you feel sad in good weather? No, I
No,
don't
I
feel
don't
sad
feel
in
sad
good weather.
in good
I
weather.
feel
I feel
happy in
happy
good
in
weather.
good weather.
Okay, great, Kyuko, and that's all for your daily revision. So
Mhm.
we'll have this time your new word. Okay,
Okay.
repeat. Middle,
Middle,
center.
center.
Okay, so a moment, I'll get the chart first. Okay, yes. Okay, so listen. The words middle and center are nouns. So for example, this is the middle of the square. So
Mhm.
the letter U is in the middle of the square. And another example, people don't drive their cars in the middle of the road. So in most countries, they drive them on the right hand side of the road.
Mhm.
And center is another word for middle. For example, the table is in the center of the room.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What part of the square is this? What part of the square is this? It's the
It's the top
top
of
of the
the
square.
square.
What part of the square is this? What part of the
It's
square is this?
it's the bottom of the square.
What part of the square is this? What part of the square is this?
It's the side of the square.
Right. What part of the square is this? What part of the square is this? It's the middle.
It's the middle of the square.
Where's the letter E? Where's the letter E? The letter
Letter
is
is
in
the
the
top
top right
right
hand
hand
corner
corner
of the
of the
square.
square.
Okay. Where's the letter I? Where's the letter I? The
The
letter
letter
I
I
is in the
in the
bottom left
bottom
hand
right
corner
left hand
of
corner
the
of the
square.
square.
Where's the letter U? Where's the letter U? The letter U's
The letter
in the
U
middle of
in
the
the middle
square.
of the square.
Alright, good. The people drive their cars in the middle of the road. The people drive their cars in the middle of the road. No people
No people
don't
don't
drive their
drive their
cars
car
in the
in the
middle
middle
of the
of
road.
the road.
In most
In the middle
countries,
of the road.
yeah, in the middle
In
of the
most
road.
of the road.
In
In
most
most
countries,
countries,
they drive
they
them
drive them
in
in
on the right
the
hand,
right hand
on the
on the
right
right
hand
hand
side
side
of the road.
of the road.
Okay, yes. What another word for middle? What another word for middle? Another word
Another
for
word for
middle is
middle
center.
is center.
Is there anything in the center of that room? Is there anything in the center of that room? Yes, no.
Yes,
There's
there is
something
something
in the
on
center
in the
of
center
this room.
of this in this room.
Of
In the
this room.
center
In the
of
center
this
of
room.
this room.
In the center of this room.
Okay,
Mhm.
right. Yeah, right. Repeat. Sure.
Shower.
Okay, sure, yeah. So, for example, listen, sure is an adjective. So, my name is Chen, so I'm sure. And I have 2 ears,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure. Okay, let's practice. What's your name? What's your name? My
My
name's.
name's Kyoko.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes, I'm
Yes,
sure.
I'm sure.
How many ears have you? How many ears have you? I've
I
two
have two
ears.
ears.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes, I'm
Yes,
sure.
I'm sure.
Repeat. Request.
Request.
Okay, listen. Request is a noun. A request means the act of asking for something politely. So it is a polite way to say please in English at the end of a request. For
Mm,
example, open the door please. Tell me your name please. So those are requests. Okay,
mhm.
let's practice. Do we generally say please in English at the beginning of a request? Do we generally say please in English at the beginning of a request? No,
No,
we
we
don't
don't
generally
generally
say
say
please in
please
English
in
at
English
the beginning of
at
a
the
request.
beginning of a
We
request.
say it
We say
at
it's
the end of a
at the
request.
end of a request.
Is it polite not to say please when we make a request? Is it polite not to say please when we make a request? No,
No,
it
it
isn't
isn't
polite
polite
not to
not
say
to say
please
when please
when we
when
make a
we make
request.
a request.
It's
It's
impolite.
impolite.
Good. Repeat. Neither nor.
Neither nor.
Neither or neither nor. Okay, listen. So neither nor is a conjunction. So it is the opposite of either or. So for
Mhm,
example, here, so this isn't a book or a paper. So this is a pen. So
mhm.
this is neither a book nor a paper. This is a pen. And another example, there are neither 100 chairs in this room nor 1,000 chairs. There
Mhm,
are 3 chairs in this room.
mhm, mhm.
Okay, let's practice. Is this a desk or a chair? Is this a desk or a chair? No, it's
No,
neither
it's
a desk.
neither,
It's neither,
neither.
yeah, neither or neither.
It's
It's
neither.
neither a desk
It's neither a desk
nor a
nor a
chair.
chair.
It's a
It's
door.
a door.
Yes. Are there 100 chairs in this room? Nor 1,000, or are there 100 chairs in this room or 1,000 chairs? Are there 100 chairs
No,
in this room or 1,000 chairs? No,
no,
there are
there are
neither
neither
a
a
hundred
hundred
chairs
chairs
in
in
that
this room
room,
nor a
a thousand
thousand
chairs. There are three
chairs.
chairs
There are three
in
chairs
that
in
room.
this room.
Oh, yeah,
In
in
that
this,
room.
in that room or in this room. Are
Hmm?
you Mr. Brown or Mr. Smith? Are you Mr. Brown or Mr. Smith? No, I'm
No,
neither
I'm
Mr.
neither
Brown
Mr.
nor Mr.
Brown
Smith.
nor Mr. Smith.
I'm
I'm Miss Hirayama.
okay, yes, right. Repeat willing.
Willing.
Okay, listen. Willing is an adjective. To be willing is to be happy to do something. For example, I'm always happy to help other people, or I'm
Mm,
always willing to help other people. Let's
mm.
practice. Are you always willing to help other people? Are you always willing to help other people? Yes, no.
Yes,
I'm
I'm willing to help
always
other. I'm always
willing to help
willing to
other
help other
people.
people.
Are you willing to give me all the money you have in your pocket at the
Mm?
moment? Are you willing to give me all the money you have in your pocket at the moment? No,
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not willing
willing to
to
give
give
you
you
all the
all the
money
money
I have in my
in my
pocket
I have in my
at the
pocket
moment.
at the moment.
Okay, so Kyoko, we are in lesson 44 and this time we will learn about irregular verbs. Can you
Mm?
repeat? Film,
Film,
pronunciation,
pronunciation,
live, left,
leave, left,
smell, smelt,
smell, smelt,
learn, learned,
learn, learned,
send, sent,
send, sent,
know, knew,
know, knew,
hang, hung,
hung, hung,
buy, bought,
buy, bought,
shake, shook,
shake, shook,
think, thought,
think, thought,
read, read,
read, read,
meet, met,
meet, met,
feel, felt,
feel, felt,
hear, heard,
hear, heard,
hold, held,
hold, held,
bring, brought,
blink, brought,
go, went,
go, went,
say, said,
say, said,
teach, thought.
teach, taught.
Okay, listen. Alright, let's practice. What the
Hmm?
past of live? What's the past of live? The
The
past of
past
live
of
is
live is
left.
left.
What time did you leave home to come here today? What time did you leave home to come here today? I left
I
home
left
at
home at 6 a.m.
to come
to
here
come
today.
here today.
Yes. What the past of smell? What's the past of smell? The past
The
of
past of
smell is
smell is
smelt.
smelt.
Did your lunch smell bad yesterday? Did your lunch smell bad yesterday? No, my
No,
lunch
my
didn't
lunch
smell
didn't
bad
smell bad.
yesterday.
Yesterday
It
it
smelled good.
smelled good. It smelled good.
Yes, smelled good. Did you learn any new words last week? Did you learn any new words last week? Yes, I
Yes,
learned
I
some
learned
new
some
words
new words
last week.
last week.
Did you send any emails to your friends last month? Did you send any emails to your friends last month? Yes,
Yes,
I
I
sent
sent
some
some
emails to
emails
my friends last
to
month.
my friends
Last month.
month.
Okay, correct. Did you, for example, you knew me 2 weeks ago, and for example only, did you know me 2 weeks ago? Did you know me 2 weeks ago? Yes, I
Yes,
knew
I knew
you two
you two
weeks
weeks
ago.
ago.
Okay. Did that picture hang on the wall last lesson? Did that picture hang on the wall last lesson? Yes,
Yes,
that
that
picture hung
picture
on the wall
hung on the wall
last
last
lesson.
lesson.
Okay, for example, our Callan books. Did we read this book or did we read these books last week? Did we read these books last week? Yes, we
Yes,
read
we read
these
this
books
book
last week.
last lesson. Last week.
Ah, yeah, last week.
Hmm?
Okay, last week. Okay, clear?
Yes,
Okay, yes. Who was the last person you met before coming to the school? Who was the last person you met before coming to the school?
my son was
Was
the
the
last
last person
person
I
I
met
met
before coming to the
before
school?
coming to the school.
Yes.
To school? To the
To
school?
the school before
To the
coming to the
school.
school.
Mm, yeah.
Yes, correct. Did you feel cold last summer? Did you feel cold last summer? No, I didn't
No, I
feel
didn't
cold
feel cold
last
last
summer.
summer.
I felt
I
hot.
felt hot.
I felt hot.
I felt hot.
Yeah,
Hot.
hot, yes. Did you
Hot.
hear? Okay, did you hear me say good morning to you at the beginning of the lesson? Did you hear me say good morning to you at the beginning of the lesson? Yes, I
Yes,
heard
I
you
heard
say
you
good morning to
say
me
good morning
at
to
the
me at
beginning of the
the
lesson.
beginning of the lesson.
Okay. What did I hold in my hand last lesson? What did I hold in my hand last lesson? You held
You held a pen,
your
your
pen
pen
in your
last
hand
lesson. In your hand
last
last lesson.
lesson. What did you bring with you to the lesson today? What did you bring with you to the lesson today? I brought
I
my
brought
books
some my books
with me to the
with
lesson
me
today.
to the lesson today.
Where did you buy your clothes from? Where did you buy your clothes from? I bought my
I
clothes
bought my
from.
clothes from a clothes shop.
Yes. Okay. Did you go to the pub last month? Did you go to the pub last month? Yes, no.
No, I
I didn't
didn't
go
go
to
to
the
the
pub
pub
last
last
month.
month.
Who was the last person you shook hands with? Who was the last person you shook hands with?
My son was
Was
the
the
last
last person
person
I shook hands
I
with?
shook hands with.
What did I say to you at the end of the last lesson? What did I say to you at the end of the last lesson? You said goodbye
You
to
said
me.
with you said
Goodbye to me
goodbye to
at
me
the
at the
end
end
of the
of the
last
lesson.
lesson. Of the last lesson.
Of At the end of the lesson.
At the end of the last lesson.
At the end of the last lesson.
Okay, yes, right. Good.
Hmm?
Yes. For example, we have last lesson before.
Hmm?
Okay. Did you think the last film you saw was a good one? Did you think the last film you saw was a good one? Yes, no.
Yes,
I
I
thought
thought
the last film I
the last
saw
film I
was
saw
a good
was a
one.
good one.
Did you think English pronunciation was difficult when you first began studying English? Did you think English pronunciation was difficult when you first began studying English? Yes, I
Yes,
thought
I
English
thought English
pronunciation was
pronunciation
difficult
was
when
difficult
I first
when
began
I
studying
first
English.
began study English.
When I first began studying English.
When I first began
Studying English.
studying English.
Okay, correct. Did your parents teach you to wash and dress when you were a child? Did your parents teach you to wash and dress when you were a child? Yes, my
Yes, my
parents taught me
parents told
to
me to
wash
wash
and
and
dress
dress
when I was a
when I was
child.
a child.
Okay, good. Repeat. Bicycle,
Bicycle,
motorbike,
motorbike,
bike.
bike.
Okay, listen. Bicycle, motorbike, and bike are nouns. So
Hmm?
cars have four wheels, while
Hmm?
motorbikes only have only two wheels.
Hmm?
So a bicycle is similar to a motorbike. It has also two wheels, but a motorbike is quicker than a bicycle. So
Hmm?
both motorbike and bicycle can be called a bike.
Hmm?
Okay, let's practice. Which is quicker, a bicycle or a motorbike? Which is quicker, a bicycle or a motorbike? A
A
motorbike is
motorbike is
quicker than a
quicker than a
bicycle.
bicycle.
What's a bike? What's a bike? A bike
A
is
bike is
either a
either a
bicycle or a
motorcycle
motorbike.
or a motorbike.
Okay, correct. I repeat, mistake.
Mistake.
Okay, listen. Mistake can be used as a noun. So, mistake
Hmm?
as a noun is something that is wrong. For
Hmm?
example, I made some mistakes in my last reading. Mistake can also be used as a verb. So, mistake as
Hmm?
a verb means to be wrong about something. For example, I mistake the word work for walk. So,
Hmm?
I sometimes say work instead of walk.
Hmm?
Okay, let's practice. Did you make any mistakes in your last dictation? Did you make any mistakes in your last dictation? Yes, I
Yes, I
made
made
some
some
mistakes in
mistakes
my dictation.
in my last dictation.
In my last dictation, sorry,
In my
last
last
dictation,
dictation.
correct.
Hmm?
Good. Do you ever mistake the word walk for work when you hear it? Do you ever mistake the word walk for work when you hear it? Yes, I
Yes, I
sometimes mistake the
sometimes
word
mistake the
walk
word work
for work
for
when
work
I hear it.
when I hear it.
Okay, repeat, listen,
Listen,
hear,
hear,
news,
use,
news,
use,
ah, news or news, news,
news.
yes,
News.
news
Hmm?
or news,
News,
radio,
radio,
radio station,
radio
all the
stations,
time.
all the time.
Okay, listen. Listen and hear are verbs. So, for example, I'm talking and you're listening to me, so you can
Hmm?
hear me. News, radio, and radio station are all nouns. So we can see news on TV. So they give the news about 3 times on TV every day. So we can sometimes hear news on the radio. So an example of a TV station is CNN. It's a TV station. A radio station is similar to a TV station. A radio station is example of radio station is Japan. In Japan is NHK FM.
Hmm?
All the time is similar to always. So for example, I don't listen to the same radio station all the time, or I
Hmm?
don't listen to the same radio station, yeah, all the time. But anyway, no more time, Kyoko, so let's
Mm-hmm.
continue this explanation next time.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so for today we had your new work until the head word all the time.
Hmm?
Okay, and the paragraph 5, 228. So thank you so much. You did great. Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. So keep it up. Good
Have
night
a
and
great
have a good day.
morning.
Have a good
Hmm?
night too. See you again.